Welcome and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be putting together this 6U 19-inch wall mount cabinet. And basically when I was about to purchase this, I checking on the reviews, one of the complaints was that the instructions were not clear on how to put it together. So I said, well, might as well just make a video. So just to give you an idea, you can add a couple of fans there to work on things. You can actually open it up, same thing on the other end. I think it's going to serve the purpose for the project that we're going to be working on. So got to buy 2 of them for when I have one in each floor. This patch panel you see here is not included. I'm just going to show you how to put it together. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so let's just unbox it, get it out of the box. We'll see the parts. All right, so here we go. Let's get some of the parts out. This is the front of the case. Now we have the manual. We're going to start with the side frames to kind of start building the case. So here's one of the side doors or side panels. Alrighty. So it's number 1, number 2 sides. And some of the hardware, there it is. And I believe that, but got 2 more pieces here. This will be the rack, the rear of the rack. There we go. Oh, one of these things fell off. I'll just keep it here handy. And yeah, this one belongs to this one right here. You'll see that you'll be using this later on. You might be using it, actually we'll be using it to put the parts together. So I'm just making sure I'm putting that one back because it fell off. So that's that. And last, top and bottom. This is the top. You'll have the grills for the fans if you want to put some fans. Just putting that on the side. And this will be the bottom of the case. And both top and bottom have these sections here that you can then just cut off and cut out, and then you can run your wires through it. So let's just put all the extra stuff that we don't need back in the box. Stay organized. I hate to be too messy. So here we go. That's that. We got our parts laid out. 1, 2. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts plus all the nuts and bolts. Once you get one of the side panels, and as you can see there, clearly it recommends to get the key. Go ahead and insert it there and just grab this piece out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and remove that panel, that cover, and we'll leave the key in there so we don't end up losing the key. So that's that, and then we'll go ahead and grab that second part that we're going to need. In this case, it's going to be the front of it. So that's part number 3. According to the diagram here, you just gotta kind of go to the one where it breaks it down here. So we get part number 3, which is going to be the left panel. Yep, it is the left panel. This is the front door. Then, I mean, there actually is one of the side frames. It have 2 sides. This seems to be the left panel for us, and then we'll grab the front door, which then we're going to be putting it together. But for the front door, we're going to remove the glass door of it, or the front panel. We're going to remove the glass door, and then we'll continue to step number 3, which is to put them together, you screw them together, okay? This is where it gets a little confusing. I mean, you have this part and you have this other one, and then you start trying to figure out where do I put this? Is it here? Is it there? Just basically just by looking at the picture is really where I got to figure it out. But basically, what you do is take these pieces here where you have the two add-on, I guess, screw brackets. I'm not sure how you would call it, but basically hold it front-wise, and this is how this is gonna go. This is gonna go screwed in here. I mean, you can actually pick any of this, but I'm gonna want it because I wanna get the full depth of the rack. So I'm gonna just go ahead and screw it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab 2 screws. I'm gonna screw them in this area, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side panel with this one. We gotta use an A set of screws, so they're labeled in the back. That's what I'm gonna grab. All right there, I'm gonna grab a couple of them right there. And as I said, I'm gonna take this one here. It recommends using an electric drill or a battery operated drill, but I can use my trusty screwdriver and simply go ahead and screw this in place. Takes a lot of visualizing, and this is where at first it got really confusing for me. When I try to screw this in, it just would not go in. It would feel like I'm breaking something, but no, it's just I guess the way the threads are made. We'll go ahead and grab the second panel here, and we'll put this on the side here. Put them together there for now, and then we'll do the same thing here. We have a set of keys here, and same thing. It's gonna go like this, I believe, yeah. But this is basically step 1. I'm sorry, step number 3. And we're ready to go with, we're gonna be using, on step 4, we're gonna be using the side panels, the side frames. Here we go. So step number 4, we're gonna be using the side frames, which we just did, put the rail on them. 1 and 2, we have them here, and then we're gonna be attaching this to the back, to the rear panel, which is number 6. Again, if you look at the main diagram, number 6 is right over here. So we'll find it. This is the one. That's number 6. So we'll get this one over here close to us so we can watch it here. This is going to be placed this way. 1 and 2. Actually, my bad. This goes here. And this one is going to go here as well. So why am I saying that? This is the front, where we're going to have these other screws that we'll be using later, and then we're going to be attaching this side here, right here. There's another rack mount screws there, or nuts really, and there we go. That's that, and according to our instructions again, step number 4, we got to check what screws are going to be using. Step number 4. Okay, so we're going to be using the B ones this time around, not the, we were using the A ones. We're going to be using the B ones. All right, so these are the B ones. They're silver in color. The A ones are black in color. So we'll get 4 of these guys, and we'll get these 2 side panels attached to the rear panel. Oh, actually this one uses a security bit, or security, whatever you call this, sorry. And here we go. I'm first just lightly screwing them in place, and then we'll tighten them up. I usually do that with everything else, as it really prevents me from having to unscrew and unscrew things when things don't really fit correctly. I want to make sure first that things are done right, and then I tighten things up. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. There we go. Make sure that we then line them up, have everything lined up correctly, and then we can tighten them up. I'll go ahead and tighten this one up. I'm just aligning this area here, and then I'll tighten them up. Actually, this screw, well, no, let's do this. I was about to use the screwdriver with the tool, but I might not even have this one. This one has a little hole in here, so it's one of those security bits. Since this is going to be holding, well, in this case, it's not going to be holding extremely heavy things, but it's always good to tighten them up, not too tight, but tighten enough so that it's solid. It's a solid frame, so it's not wobbly once you mount it. So there we go. We're doing one side, and make sure we're getting it tightened up. And there we go. I'm just making sure it's just solid there. And same for this side. So we can move on to step number 5, which is going to be the bottom. I just want to show you. It's truly, as I do it more, it's about reading and following it step by step correctly. So the next step is going to be the bottom frame, bottom panel, which is number 8. We'll find the bottom panel, which is the one without the vent holes. That'll be this one here. There we go. So we're going to set it with these 2 holes towards the back, because that's if we want to go ahead and bring wires from the bottom, or basically electrical cables, from the switch or other devices, or even if I'm planning on having a UPS here too, this would be the way to get the cable out. Again, you'll tailor it according to your specific need. So there we go. It's looking down like that. And now this part here, I gotta remember how I did it. Oh yeah, no, it's simple here. That's, all right, so this right here has an indentation, metal indentation here on both. And basically you just gotta find where that's gonna go, right there. And at the bottom it has this other side, so you first wanna kind of get that lined up, and then just kind of clip it in right there. So that's been done. Now we have to secure it though, because that cannot be just like that. Actually, it is just like that. There's no other. This will get screwed in later in the front. So this one, as I showed you, has got like a little metal piece that comes out just like this, and it holds up with this other piece, and it'll do the same thing with the front. So this is just a piece that you don't screw at this moment. You will this metal part is what's going to hold it in place from falling down. So we'll do the same thing with the top panel, bottom panel. So step number 6. So as you see here, you have these little dots on the side. It's just a metal piece that kind of just allows you to clip it in. And the same thing goes with the top. And here's the piece for the top. Same thing, this goes in towards the back. And there you go. This is gonna hold it in place here. And then make sure that you kind of put this on top like that, so that it goes in place and then holds against the back there. And there you go. There you go. So now the next part is what's going to kind of hold it all together. There we go. A little wonky here, but once we put it together, it's going to hold it in place. So we went from step 6, we have the top panel. Step number 6, we did 5 and 6, bottom panel, number 6, top panel, which is part number 5. The holes for the fans, if you want to add some fans, and these two cutouts go towards the back. All right, and then now we're going to install the front frame, which is step number 7. Here's our front frame, and make sure that the label part is towards the top. And here we go. Actually, we're gonna wanna kind of lay it back so that we can screw it in place. Just be careful that it doesn't come off, and just put this on it like so. And there you go. You see this is gonna, you gotta make sure that this bottom sections, the little metal sections are, you place them there so that it kind of holds everything in place. So we're gonna go ahead and screw it in. And we'll have another section, 4 more screws that we're gonna put in. And I'm sure those are gonna be the security bits. So front frame, step number 7, for front frame, we're gonna use B screws, which are the silver ones, which are the security bits or the security screws, and we'll use this security bit to put them in together. So we're on to that now. All right, you'll see that there's a couple of bolts there that you can screw them onto. I'm actually pressing it from behind, from the bottom too, to kind of help kind of guide the screw in. And same thing, I'm just putting it in first. All right, let me show you here. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. That's screw number 2. I'm not tightening it. I'm gonna show you 3 and 4. Again, you have in the, this is part of the side frames. It's got screws, rack screws on them. So again, you put it in and just put your finger underneath it so that it kind of helps you guide the screw, and also kind of pushes it in, versus like with the screw you can push it out. So you don't want to kind of go too hard on it, because you can actually push this out. Those are rack screws. Not screws, but rack nuts. Okay. Alrighty, now we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. And now that, just as is right now already, like you feel the case itself being very sturdy. You want, of course, tighten this up well, but by putting the pieces together, that's what gives the whole case strength. So you know it's not gonna fall apart, especially if these are gonna be mounted. You don't wanna start to get, for it to get wobbly and so on. Alrighty, so here we go. That's pretty much the main case. Now all you gotta do, I mean, look at it. I'm actually wobbling it, and nothing feels kind of flimsy here. It's a metal case, but you know, it's well done. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add the 2 side doors. Just set it there, and then you can lock it or not. And same thing here. Go the other side. Put that there, and right in. And then you just decide whether you want this to open from this side, which basically you'll have the holes here, 1 and 2. If I wanted to open that way, but in this case, I'm gonna want to open it from this side. And when I get to the side, I might even have to change it around, but it's really simple really to do. You just line up the first one, the bottom one, and just bring this down and set this one in place. All right, let's do this right. All right, there it went into place. And then you can lock it or not. There you go. I think we're done with this one. So, here we go. So there you go. Case number 1, case number 2, both ready to go. All I gotta do is just mount on that one. These are 24-port patch panels. And all the hardware is included to be able to mount them. That's right here. I'm some of the nuts, and the bolts do come with the pieces that I bought. So we're ready to go. So that's how you put this one together. Hope this is useful for you, but it is not as difficult as it was expected from the comments that I saw. And there you go. Got a couple of nice rack mounts ready to go for our new project. Thank you.